Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast. Welcome to all of our listeners, gym owners, gym operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, and personal trainers. Today, we'll be taking you through the white paper by Jim Thomas. Our goal is to provide you with actionable insights from this document that could genuinely change how you think about growing your business. And what Jim Thomas lays out in this paper is something many in our industry might overlook: the surprising, quiet power of public relations, or PR, for independent gyms and trainers.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really the central argument Jim Thomas unpacks. While a lot of energy and resources in our world are focused on, the immediate chase.
Right. The next lead.
Exactly. That next lead through paid marketing, constantly looking at ad spend dashboards. Jim argues that a significant number of savvy competitors are gaining a distinct silent advantage.
A silent advantage? How so?
Well, they aren't just focused on paying for attention. They're using PR to build something deeper. Long-term authority, rock-solid trust, and ultimately a larger market share.
Okay.
And often, they're doing it without paying for placement, playing a different kind of game that's less about the quick win and more about building a lasting foundation.
Okay, let's dig into this, because Jim Thomas is very precise in the white paper about defining exactly what PR is and, maybe even more crucially, what it isn't, especially compared to advertising. What's the core distinction he wants us to grasp?
He puts it very clearly. PR is fundamentally not advertising. Advertising, at its heart, is paid. You pay to get your message into a specific space, a social feed, a newspaper page, whatever.
Right, you control the message because you paid.
Exactly. PR, on the other hand, is what's known as earned media. This is key. It's when a third party, someone other than you, tells your story, features you, or mentions your business.
Ah, okay.
And because it's coming from an independent source, it automatically carries, exponentially more weight and credibility than anything you could say about yourself, no matter how good your ad copy is.
So if I boost a post on Instagram showing off our new equipment, that's me paying to advertise.
That's advertising.
But if a local fitness blog reviews that new equipment and mentions my gym...
That's earned media. That's PR.
Yeah.
Exactly the distinction. Think about the examples Jim Thomas provides in the paper.
Okay.
True PR could be a genuine feature story about your gym's unique approach in the local community newspaper. It might be getting an interview on a popular local wellness podcast where you share expert tips.
Yeah, I could see that.
It could be an online article that happens to mention one of your trainers because of their inspiring background or, success with a client. Or maybe being included, completely unsolicited, in a list like the 5 best spots for a health kick in our city.
Right, someone else is choosing to talk about you.
Yes. These are all instances where someone else is vouching for you or telling your story.
And to make sure we're clear, what does the white paper explicitly state PR is not? Because I think people get confused here.
They do. So, according to Jim Thomas, PR is not running that paid Instagram ad. It's not simply publishing a post on your own Facebook page or writing an article for your own website blog.
Okay, so your own channels don't count as PR.
Right. It's not hiring an influencer and paying them specifically to promote your gym in a sponsored post. That's paid influence. Different thing.
Got it.
And it's definitely not designing and mailing out your own discount flyer or sending your regular email newsletter to your list. Again, these are all valid marketing activities. They have their place, but they are you promoting yourself.
Okay.
The power of PR, and what makes it, in his words, exponentially more valuable in today's skeptical world, is that independent third-party validation. People just trust recommendations from sources they see as unbiased far more than direct claims from the business itself.
That phrase, exponentially more valuable, is compelling. But as you mentioned earlier, PR doesn't typically give you that immediate flood of leads, right? You don't often run a PR campaign and see your CRM light up tomorrow morning. So why does Jim Thomas argue it's the winner in the long game? What fundamental things does PR build?
Yeah, you've hit on the common sticking point, that focus on immediate ROI. But Jim Thomas highlights that PR is about building something sustainable, planting seeds that grow over time. He points to a few key areas where PR lays a foundation. Advertising it just can't.
Like what?
First, it builds trust that advertising simply cannot buy. Imagine seeing your gym quoted in a trusted local news source about, say, fitness trends. That credibility doesn't come from your quote itself, really. It comes from the fact that the news source chose to include you. They're lending their trust to you. That's fundamentally different from you placing an ad saying, "Trust us."
Ah, so the trust is borrowed, in a good way, from the media source. That makes sense.
Precisely. And that leads right into the second point. Brand authority that attracts partnerships. When your gym is consistently featured or mentioned positively in respected local media, you stop being just another business. You start becoming seen as a voice of authority or a valuable community asset. And this makes you incredibly attractive for partnerships, maybe aligning with local schools for student fitness programs, or collaborating with health professionals, participating in citywide wellness things.
Even partnering with other local businesses, maybe.
Absolutely for cross-promotions. Your reputation precedes you. Being known and trusted just opens doors you might not even know were there.
That's a really powerful point. Okay, what else?
And third, there are significant compounding SEO benefits. This one's often overlooked.
SEO. How does PR help with that?
Well, when media outlets write about you online, they almost always link back to your website. These backlinks, especially from reputable sources like news sites or well-established blogs, are like powerful votes in the eyes of search engines like Google.
Ah, okay. Like a vote of confidence.
Exactly. So the more high-quality backlinks you accumulate over time through PR, the higher your website is likely to rank in organic search results. That means more potential members finding you naturally when they search for gyms or trainers in your area without you paying a cent for that specific click.
Wow. Free compounding traffic over time. That's a huge, often hidden benefit.
It really is.
Yeah.
And finally, PR helps you occupy valuable mental shelf space. Think about it.
Mm.
Most people aren't actively looking for a gym right at this exact moment.
True.
But when the time comes, when they decide they need one, whose name is going to pop into their head first? It's likely the one they've seen mentioned consistently in places they respect: the local paper, a familiar podcast, a trusted community website.
So you're top of mind when they are ready.
Exactly. PR keeps your brand quietly present in their minds, so when the need arises, you're already a known, credible option.
This all ties together so well with that powerful quote from PR legend Al Rees that Jim Thomas includes in the paper. PR builds brands. Advertising defends them.
It's a brilliant summary, isn't it? PR does the foundational work of establishing who you are, building that core recognition and reputation. Advertising then plays a vital role in keeping that established brand visible, promoting specific offers, and defending your position in the market against competitors.
But without that PR foundation...
The advertising has to work much harder. Yeah. It has to build trust from scratch.
Okay, so while many of us are locked in that day-to-day battle for immediate leads with paid ads, the competitors who are thinking long-term are quietly building this deeper, more resilient connection with the community.
Mm-hmm.
What are these savvy gym owners actually doing on a practical level, according to Jim Thomas? What actions set them apart?
Right, the how.
Yeah.
Jim Thomas details the practical steps these successful operators are taking. They're being proactive. They're pitching press releases on a regular basis for newsworthy events within their business.
Like what kind of events?
Oh, maybe launching a new fitness program, hosting a charity boot camp, celebrating a significant anniversary, or hitting a major membership milestone, stuff like that. They're actively building genuine media relationships, getting to know local journalists who cover health or community news, connecting with hosts of local podcasts relevant to their audience, reaching out to local bloggers. They're not just waiting to be discovered.
No, they're initiating contact, making connections.
Exactly. They're also submitting expert fitness tips to community newsletters or maybe the health sections of local publications, positioning themselves as knowledgeable resources. That builds authority.
Yeah, becoming the go-to expert.
For sure. And they are hosting free community events, things like park cleanups, maybe free outdoor workout sessions tied to a local cause, or health fairs. Activities designed to be inherently newsworthy and demonstrate community involvement.
Things that get noticed.
Right. And finally, they are actively crafting and sharing compelling, emotional stories. Member success stories are huge here. Trainer journeys, or the unique history or mission of the gym itself. Because powerful narratives resonate and, they get picked up by the media.
These actions sound really deliberate, aimed at earning that third-party mention, that earned media.
They are. And the result, like we said, is they become the trusted voice in their local fitness scene. They claim that valuable mind share.
So while you're spending heavily on advertising, trying to cut through the noise,
they've already built a level of familiarity and trust simply by being present and seen in trusted local sources. They've often won that quiet battle of perception before the potential member even starts actively looking.
this all sounds crucial, but I can hear listeners thinking, okay, but how do I actually do this? I don't have a PR department or a massive budget.
Totally understandable.
Jim Thomas addresses this directly in the white paper, doesn't he? Providing a practical guide for independent operators. What are his recommended steps?
He does. And that's a really important point. You absolutely don't need a big agency or a huge budget. What Jim Thomas emphasizes is the need for structure, consistency, and recognizing the stories you already have. He breaks it down into 4 actionable steps.
Okay, step 1.
Step 1 is create a story vault. This means shifting your mindset a bit. Start thinking like a local journalist about your own business. What's happening that's unique, inspiring, has local relevance, or is timely.
Okay, like what kind of stories?
Think about specific examples. Is there a member with an incredible transformation story? Maybe someone who lost 100 pounds and changed their life. Do you have a veteran trainer with a powerful story, perhaps returning from service and launching a specific program? Are you opening a new location, especially maybe in a neighborhood that's being revitalized? Or maybe you've designed a new class, specifically tailored for a particular demographic, like fall prevention for seniors, or a program for new moms. Document these potential stories. Just get them down.
So it's about identifying the inherent news, the interesting stuff already happening within your business. What's step 2?
Step 2 is build a local media list. Start incredibly focused. Hyperlocal is your friend here. Create a simple spreadsheet.
All right, keep it manageable.
Exactly. List out every community newspaper in your town or surrounding areas. Identify local radio hosts who have community or lifestyle segments. Find podcasts produced locally that cover health, wellness, small business, or community issues. Look for local health and fitness bloggers or influencers who genuinely serve your region.
Don't forget local TV.
Definitely. Local TV stations that have morning shows or lifestyle segments that feature local interest stories. And Jim suggests actively building sort of soft relationships. First, follow them on social media, share their work occasionally, get on their radar before you pitch.
Right, building that initial connection makes a pitch feel less cold, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
And step 3.
Step 3 is send simple press releases consistently. Consistency is the name of the game here. Make sending out information about your gym a regular habit, aiming for something every, say, 4 to 6 weeks.
Every month or so, what kind of topics work for that?
Good topics are things like your gym's anniversary, announcing a new, highly qualified trainer joining your team, launching a seasonal class or program, maybe receiving a local business award, or hosting that free community event we talked about.
Okay. And the press release itself. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep the format straightforward. A compelling, catchy headline. 2 to 3 paragraphs covering the essential who, what, when, where, why. Include a quote from you or a trainer. And always, always attach a high-quality image that's easy for media to use.
Got it. So regular, simple communication is more effective than waiting for one massive announcement. And the final step, once you actually get that coverage, let's say the local paper runs your story.
Step 4 is amplify your wins. This is crucial. Don't just get the media hit and then forget about it. Leverage that third-party validation everywhere you possibly can. Share the article or segment link across all your social media channels. Create a dedicated press or in the news page on your website and add it there. If you have digital screens in your gym, display clips of the TV segment or images of the article.
Oh, good idea.
Include mentions in your follow-up emails to prospective members, something like, as recently featured in the name of local publication. Mention it during new member onboarding. Jim points out that one single piece of earned media can generate 10+ content opportunities across your various platforms.
Wow.
You get maximum mileage out of that one win.
That's a fantastic return on the effort you put in, especially since, like you said, you didn't pay for the initial placement. Can you share a couple of those real-world examples from the white paper? Show how this is actually played out.
Absolutely. Jim includes some compelling examples that really drive it home. There's the boutique studio that launched a specific Fit Moms Club.
Okay.
And was then profiled in a popular local moms blog. Think about the perfect targeted audience they reached through that one mention, coming from a source those moms already trusted.
Yeah, instant credibility with the right people.
Exactly. Another one is a personal trainer who pitched and had a guest column published in their city's business journal, not just about fitness, but positioning fitness professionals as entrepreneurs.
Oh, that's smart, reaching a different kind of audience, the business community.
Yeah, instantly elevated their status there. And perhaps one of the most powerful examples he gives is a gym that had a member transformation story picked up and aired on a local TV news segment.
Oh, wow, TV coverage.
Yeah, and Jim highlights that this single piece of coverage resulted in 12 consultations in just 1 week.
12 consultations
Correct.
from one earned media spot. That's incredible.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And finally, he mentions a gym that sponsored a community cleanup event. Because it was tied to a local cause, they received positive coverage on the Chamber of Commerce website, being featured as a business that gives back.
So good for the community and good for their reputation.
Exactly. 12 consultations from one TV spot, widespread positive recognition. These are very tangible results demonstrating the power of earned media, even if they weren't the direct result of a paid ad campaign.
They really highlight what's possible, and the key point is effort, not necessarily budget.
That's Jim's point throughout. These results didn't come from a massive PR firm budget. They came from independent owners and trainers applying effort, structure, and initiative, identifying their stories, building local connections, and consistently getting their message out through earned channels.
So bringing it all back to the core inside of the white paper, Jim Thomas frames this as the silent battle of perception.
Yes.
What's the final key takeaway he wants every gym owner and trainer listening to understand about this?
His perspective is that paid advertising is like a spark. It can ignite immediate interest, sure, but it requires continuous fuel. PR, on the other hand, is building a flame that keeps burning because it creates a lasting impression.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, he uses another one too. PR is the seed, reputation is the tree. That consistent visibility in trusted sources. The local paper, a community blog, a relevant podcast builds belief and recognition in the minds of potential members long before they ever consciously start searching for a gym or trainer.
So when they are ready.
By the time they are ready, they already have a positive perception because they've seen you in places they trust.
And that's the long-term advantage that competitors who focus on this quiet strategy are building. They're winning that perception battle early.
Precisely. They're not just focused on transactional marketing. They're focused on building that foundational layer of trust, authority, and recognition. And Jim Thomas basically argues that if you're not actively pursuing some form of consistent PR, even following those relatively simple 4 steps,
Yeah.
you risk losing that silent battle of perception. You might be missing out on significant market share, valuable partnership opportunities, and that deep, hard-to-shake trust that makes a business truly resilient in the long run.
That really does raise an important question for you, our listener, to reflect on. If earning trust and building a strong long-term reputation is as crucial for sustainable growth in our industry as Jim Thomas suggests, how much potential market share, how many valuable partnership opportunities, how much deep-seated community trust might you be leaving on the table by not actively pursuing a consistent PR strategy, even just starting with a simple one? It's definitely something to factor into your growth plans moving forward.
Making your reputation actively work for you is a powerful concept, isn't it? It goes far beyond just hoping people notice your ads.
It truly is. And if this discussion of Jim Thomas's white paper has resonated with you and you're thinking, okay, I need to do this, and you're ready to explore how to build your own PR strategy, make your reputation work harder, and capture that quiet advantage.
Then Jim Thomas offers his direct assistance.
That's right. He can help you build your legacy and make your reputation work as hard as you do.
Yeah, he's available to help you identify your stories, build that media list, draft those consistent press releases, and really put a structure in place to ensure your business earns the attention and trust it deserves.
So you can contact Jim Thomas directly to discuss this for your business. Reach out to him by phone at 214-629-7223. That number again is 214-629-7223. Or you can send him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. That's jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
He's ready to guide you in putting these principles into action for your business, building that long-term value.
A huge thank you to Jim Thomas for sharing these insights in his white paper, and we really hope this discussion has given you some clear, actionable ideas to start implementing PR in your own independent gym or training business. It's powerful stuff.